A struggling woman on the streets of Los Angeles meets a powerful businessman who is lost in more ways than one. What starts as a simple paid agreement inside a luxury hotel turns into a week of events, makeover moments, and unexpected kindness that neither of them planned for. But pressure from his ruthless world and her fear of being treated like a temporary secret pushed them toward a painful argument. Now, with feelings real and pride on the line, one decision could change everything. Chapter 1. The Night He Stopped. Los Angeles at night can look like a dream from far away, but up close it's loud, bright, and impatient. That night, I was standing near a corner on Sunset, telling myself I was in control. I had rules. I had limits. I had plans that didn't include trusting strangers. Then a black luxury car rolled up too slowly, like it didn't belong in the noise. The driver leaned forward, frustrated, staring at his phone like it had betrayed him. He looked out of place, not because of the suit, but because of his eyes. They were sharp, tired, and lonely. He asked for directions. I gave them because I knew this city like a map of bruises and victories. He thanked me, but didn't drive off. Instead, he studied me like he was trying to decide whether I was a mistake. "I need someone for the week," he said, voice calm like a business call. "Events, dinners, nothing unsafe. I'll pay." I should have laughed. I should have walked away. But rent doesn't wait for pride, and hope doesn't always show up in a perfect package. When he offered a clear agreement and a number that made my stomach flip, I told myself it was just for a week. No feelings, no pretending, just a deal. Minutes later, I followed him through the gold-lit doors of a five-star hotel, trying not to flinch when people looked at me like I didn't belong. He checked us in like he owned the building. And when we reached the suite, the city spread out below us like a field of stars. He placed an envelope on the table. "If you're in, you stay here. You'll be safe. You'll be treated well." I stared at the skyline and whispered the truth I didn't want to admit. "I'm in, but I'm not for sale. Not as a person." His expression tightened, like that sentence hit somewhere deep. "Agreed," he said. "We stick to the rules." That was the first lie we told ourselves. Chapter 2. The rules start to bend. In the morning light, the suite looked even more unreal. The sheets were too white, the air too clean, the silence too expensive. I wore a hotel robe and tried to sit like I belonged on the couch instead of perching like I might get kicked out. He laid out the terms again, careful and exact. He wasn't cruel. That surprised me. He spoke like a man who'd spent his life buying control because emotions were too risky. I asked him why me. He hesitated. "Because you didn't act impressed." That answer should have made me proud. Instead, it made me curious. Later, he arranged shopping, like clothes could solve the world. The first boutique made me feel small. The second made me feel judged. I kept my chin up anyway because I had learned a long time ago that shame is a trap. That's when she stepped in, his friend and advisor, a polished woman with kind eyes and a voice that didn't cut. She told the staff, politely but firmly, that they would treat me with respect. And suddenly, doors opened. Piece by piece, I watched myself change in the mirror, not into someone else, but into a version of me that had been waiting for permission to stand tall. That evening, back at the hotel, he gave me a small box. Jewelry. Beautiful, sparkling, careful. I didn't open it right away. "I'm not trying to buy you," he said like he heard my thoughts. "Then don't," I replied, softer than I meant to. We ate dinner in the suite, not across a crowded restaurant. Just the two of us and the city turning gold outside the windows. He asked about my life, and for the first time, I realized he didn't know how to talk to people unless there was a contract involved. I told him about growing up with nothing, about working too hard for too little, about learning to smile when the world demanded it. He listened like it mattered, and I hated how good that felt. Chapter 3. High Society Real Feelings. By day 3, I had learned how to walk into expensive rooms without shrinking. He took me to a formal luncheon with people who measured worth in handshakes and invitations. I kept my posture straight, repeated names, and stayed calm when someone's eyes slid over me like I was a rumor. He stayed close, not touching, but somehow present in a way that made me feel protected. That night was the biggest event, the theater. They dressed me in a red gown that made me look like a headline. He wore a tuxedo like it was armor. When he offered his arm, I paused. Not because I didn't want it, but because I did. Inside the private box, the music rose and filled my chest until it hurt. I didn't expect to feel anything but awe. But emotion hit me hard and sudden. Maybe it was the beauty. Maybe it was the fact that nobody had ever brought me somewhere just to make me happy. I blinked fast, embarrassed. When I glanced at him, he wasn't watching the stage. He was watching me. His face had softened into something almost tender, like he'd forgotten how to be careful. Back in the suite, the air between us felt charged. He loosened his bow tie and took a step closer, then stopped, like he was afraid of crossing a line he had drawn himself. I moved to the balcony to breathe. The skyline glittered like it was trying to convince me the world was full of second chances. He followed, standing beside me without crowding me. "I'm not good at this," he admitted quietly. "At what?" I asked, at feeling like I might lose something. I looked at him then, really looked. The powerful businessman, the man who could buy anything, was terrified. And I realized something that made my heart pound. He didn't just want a date for the week. He wanted to be seen. Chapter 4. The argument that changed everything. The next day, the fantasy cracked. He went to a meeting, and his world walked in wearing expensive smiles and sharp teeth. One man in particular, his close associate, spoke about people like me as if we were disposable, like we existed to be used and forgotten. When my name came up in conversation later, I heard enough to understand the truth. I was convenient, a solution, a temporary distraction from his high-pressure life. Maybe he didn't mean it that way. Maybe he was just repeating the language his world had taught him, but it landed like a slap. That evening, I waited in the suite, my nerves tight as wire. When he arrived, I didn't play sweet. I didn't smile. "I'm not a project," I said, "and I'm not your secret." He frowned, confused. "What are you talking about?" I told him what I heard. I told him how it felt to be treated like a storyline in someone else's life. He tried to explain, but his words came out wrong. Defensive, controlled, like he could negotiate my pain into something manageable. That's when my anger finally broke through my fear. "You don't get to rent my time and call it caring," I said, voice shaking. "You don't get to dress me up and think that fixes the way your world looks at me." His face tightened. "I never said that." "You didn't have to," I whispered. Silence filled the suite, thick and heavy. I grabbed my small bag. My hands trembled, but my decision didn't. If I stayed, I would start believing that love had a price tag. He reached out like he wanted to stop me, then froze, pride and panic fighting on his face. I looked back once at the man who had made me feel safe and small at the same time. "I want more than a week," I said, "but not like this." Then I walked out, past the glowing lobby, past the valet lights, and into the noise of the city, feeling my heart crack and my spine straighten in the same breath. Chapter 5. A Life That's Mine. I went home to my real world. Thin walls, loud neighbors, and mornings that didn't smell like hotel coffee. My friend, the only person who had seen me at my worst and still stayed, sat with me in the courtyard while I tried to pretend I was fine. I wasn't, but I was also proud, because leaving didn't mean I didn't care. It meant I cared about myself too. A few days later, the polished woman who had helped me shop called. She didn't pressure me. She didn't lecture me. She simply asked what I wanted, not what I needed. I told her the truth. I wanted school. I wanted a future that didn't depend on who chose me. So I went. I held enrollment papers with hands that shook less than they used to. I signed my name like it mattered. Meanwhile, his world didn't slow down, but something in him did. I didn't see it, not at first. I didn't see the way he walked through his corporate lobby without the usual cold confidence. I didn't see the way he started questioning the people around him, the deals he made, the kind of man he had been trained to become. All I knew was that some nights I still remembered the theater music, the balcony air, the way he looked at me like I was more than a role. Then one afternoon, I opened my building door and froze. He stood on the sidewalk in a suit that looked slightly rumpled, like he'd stopped caring about perfect. In his hands was a simple bouquet from a small shop, not the kind of flowers money buys to impress, but the kind someone buys when they're trying to be real. His eyes met mine, and the power in his face was gone. What was left was honesty. "I was wrong," he said, voice low, "and I don't know how to fix it, but I'm here to try." My heart didn't forgive him yet, but it listened. Chapter 6. Sunset over the city. I asked him to meet me somewhere neutral, somewhere that belonged to neither of our worlds. So we met at an overlook in a quiet park, the kind of place where Los Angeles looks peaceful from a distance. I stood by the railing in a simple dress and jacket, holding a small notebook like it was proof that my life was moving forward. The sky turned orange, then soft pink, and the city lights began to flicker on below. When he arrived, he didn't step too close. He didn't try to charm me. He didn't pull out a contract or an offer. He just stood there in the wind and looked like a man who had finally run out of hiding places. "I don't want to be the kind of person who only knows how to pay," he said. "I want to be the kind of person who shows up." I searched his face, looking for the old control, the old certainty. Instead, I saw fear. Real fear. The kind that means the stakes are real. "I can't go back to being an escape," I told him. "I can't be someone's weak." "I don't want a week," he replied. "I want a chance." The air between us felt like that first night again, except now there were no rules to hide behind. Just truth, just choices. We talked as the sky darkened, about my plans, about his world, about what respect really means when nobody is watching. When we finally started walking down the path, our shoulders nearly touched. The city glowed beneath us like a promise and a warning. I didn't know what we would become, but for the first time, the story felt like it belonged to me too. If you enjoyed this romantic, movie-style love story, subscribe to the channel for more powerful romance videos. Activate notifications so you never miss a new story. Give this video a like if it touched your heart, comment with your favorite chapter, and share it with someone who loves emotional romance and unforgettable turning points.